It's been an eventful week for both the Denver Broncos and the Arizona Cardinals as they get ready to meet here in Week 14 at University of Phoenix Stadium. Bill McAtee, along with former NFL MVP Rich Gannon, on the Denver sideline after Josh McDaniels was let go on Monday. Eric Studesville in his first game as interim head coach of the Denver Broncos. And on the other sideline, Arizona will go with an untested rookie, John Skelton, the fifth-round pick out of Fordham at quarterback. Denver won the toss, and they will kick it off. The veteran Jay Feely in his 10th year out of Michigan, getting ready to kick off for the Cardinals. And back deep, there's Eric Decker, the rookie, the third-round pick out of Minnesota. Sellout crowd here in Glendale, and we are underway here in Week 14. Decker from the 3. Has a lane. A flag is down on the play. Decker up the sidelines and out of bounds. But this one may come back.
Holding. Receiving team, number 41. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Jerome Boger, our referee today, and this one will come back.
Well, that's unfortunate. You know, Cassius Long, they're going to get him for holding, but boy, they had a great hole and a great lane for Eric Decker. He's been very good at returning kicks. Tough to tell where the hold comes from, but clearly, look at this lane, and Eric Decker is up on the second level. Not a very good way to start if you're Arizona. Very fortunate they got that holding penalty.
So they'll spot it back at the Denver 12-yard line. No Sean Moreno in the backfield. He gets it on first down. Broncos running game has been rounding into form over the last few weeks. Kyle Orton running the Denver offense, and Richie's fourth in the NFL in passing yards through the first 12 games.
Well, Bill, you can see the improvement from a year ago. You just look at his numbers. He's having a career year. He's become the leader of this football team. He's playing faster. He's seeing things quicker. As a result, the ball's coming out.
2nd and 4 just underway here in Arizona. Orton, short drop. Incomplete, well covered. Opening possession for the Denver Broncos here against the Arizona Cardinals. Denver offense, they like the two rookies starting on the inside. Beatles and Walton. Harris is finally starting to get healthy. Backs and receivers. Brandon Lloyd has over 1,100 yards. Moreno coming off a monster game with 161 yards rushing last week against Kansas City. Neither of these teams have been very good on third down. 3rd and 4 for Denver. Orton. Lloyd with a first down catch.
Well, it's really important for this football team to get off to a good start. They've gotten off to slow starts. Third down has been a problem. You're going to see Brandon Lloyd just working on Rogers Cromartie down here. A little stop route right on the boundary. Talked to Brandon Lloyd last night about Dominique Rogers Cromartie. He said he is a guesser. He will take some chances in jump routes. We have to be very good with our routes.
From the Denver 24-yard line. Play action. Orton guns it in the seam, and that's caught. Jabbar Gaffney. And another first down for the Broncos. That was good for 20 yards.
Well, the play action game has been so good for Denver. It's kind of a surprise they don't run it so well, but they're going to have to be good with their eyes on the back end. We talked to the safety, Adrian Wilson, on Friday for the Arizona Cardinals. He said this is a very good play action team. We have to be disciplined. We can't commit to the run on the early downs. We have to be good with our eyes.
They spotted at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for Denver. Orton changing the play. Moreno, right side. Tough yards, close to midfield. The Arizona defense is ranked 28th overall. Up front, Dockett is the Pro Bowler with Campbell and Robinson. At linebacker, Lennon leads the Cardinals in tackles. Porter has 5 sacks. And the secondary will have its hands full today. Dominique Rogers Cromartie coming off a Pro Bowl season. Adrian Wilson, physical. He continues to be one of the top safeties in the league. 2nd and 5 for Denver. Orton throws it back. Royal. And another nice pickup for Denver. All the way down to the Cardinal 37-yard line. Wilson made the stop.
And you can just see the tempo. Kyle Orton talked to us about it. They're going to try and get out of the gates. Nice job selling it, and then, of course, throwing all the way back across the field. Very good job selling the action. And, of course, that makes it very difficult on the back end. They're going after Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie early in the first quarter.
That was good for 14 yards. From the 37, Orton from the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right side for Denver. Orton, good protection once again. Up the sideline, another catch. Brandon Lloyd. And again going after Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
Well, that's the matchup they like. They're just going after him, as you said, Bill. Press coverage. He knows he's got some help over the top, so he's trailing, but a perfect throw gets it done. They're throwing a lot of these back shoulder throws. Kyle Orton doing a good job getting the ball out early and giving his Brandon Lloyd a chance to make a play on the boundary. Very difficult route to defend if you're Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
18 yards on that play. Broncos marching it right down the field. Quick toss. Royal trying to get to the edge, dives forward inside the 15, down close to the 14-yard line.
Well, if you study this Arizona defense, they have missed a lot of tackles. It's been a big problem all season. You see Mike Adams, he misses a tackle there. And the other thing that's interesting is I look at this, Bill, the way this game's starting to unfold for Denver. Both coaches, Eric Studesville told us last night, Mike McCoy, who's calling plays today, he said tempo. We want to have a fast tempo. We want to get after this Arizona defense early.
2nd and 6. Orton will throw to the end zone. Incomplete. That was almost picked off. Intended for Brandon Lloyd. Wilson had a shot.
That's a very dangerous throw there by Brandon Lloyd. You have to find the safety. Again, play action. But Adrian Wilson in that 2-deep safety, he is right there to make the play. You have to look out in front of throws. That could have been an ugly interception for Kyle Orton.
And that broke a streak of 5 straight completions.
Well, not only do you lose your head coach, but you lose your play caller as well. Mike McCoy, the offensive coordinator, taking over the play calling duties today for Josh McDaniels.
Terrell Buckhalter has checked into the game at running back on 3rd and 6. Here they come on the blitz. They pick it up. Plenty of time for Orton. Now flushed in the pocket and has to get rid of it. Incomplete. Put it at the feet of Jabbar Gaffney.
Well, there's absolutely nowhere to go with the ball there. You see Kyle Orton go ahead and roll it, and just the top, right at the end, it's when Kyle Orton gets to the top of his drop, I want you to freeze it right there. Where's he going to throw it? There's no one to throw it to there. Covered there, the covered there. Good job. Very good man-to-man coverage. Excellent job there by that Arizona defense.
Stephen Hauschka, who was signed yesterday, is on to try a 32-yard field goal. Matt Prater didn't even make the trip. Hits the upright and good. And how about that for a start to Hauschka's Denver Broncos career? Opening possession, 3 points for Denver. Eleven plays on the drive. Hauschka with the 32-yard field goal that hit the upright but managed to go through. The Arizona Cardinals have never beaten the Denver Broncos in the regular season. Denver is 7-0-1 against Arizona in their 8 previous meetings in the regular season. Cardinals ready for their opening possession. Stevens Howing takes it at about the 7. Has a hole up the middle. And a nice return out across the 35, close to the 38-yard line. And John Skelton making his first start in the National Football League. Ready to get it going when we come back. Cardinals will start from their own 39-yard line. John Skelton brings him up. 3-0 Denver. They keep it on the ground. Tim Hightower back to the line of scrimmage. Jason Hunter made the stop. Skelton, the rookie 5th-round pick. Rich ready for his first series as the starting quarterback in the National Football League.
Well, Bill, I was very impressed with what I saw out of him on Friday at practice. I thought he threw the ball well. Remember, he played a lot of football the last 4 years at Fordham, a 4-year starter, threw for almost 10,000 yards, and I realized Fordham is the Patriot League, a little different in the NFL. That's why it's going to be very important for him to control his emotions early.
2nd and 9. Skelton will go from the shotgun. Flips it out to Fitzgerald. Ball's on the ground, and Denver will have it. And the veteran Pro Bowl receiver with a turnover. Andre Goodman recovered the fumble.
Well, not something we typically see with Larry Fitzgerald. A little careless right there. Good job stripping it out. Sinquan Thompson, and good effort. Watch, once this ball is on the ground, you're going to see a number of hats flying to the ball.
Sinquan Thompson is the rookie out of Cal, the 7th-round draft pick, started 22 games at Cal.
Well,
and the challenge flag is out.
Arizona is challenging the rule on the field of a catch and a fumble.
Trying to determine whether or not it was a catch and there was possession. A step aside. First quarter here in Arizona. We're back and ready for the ruling on the challenge after the fumble, apparent fumble by Larry Fitzgerald.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass. The receiver did not maintain possession of the football prior to losing control. It will be 3rd down at the 39-yard line, at the 40-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 9 minutes, 50 seconds.
Boy, Arizona very fortunate. You see the catch. He's trying to put it into his right hand. He's got such big hands, and you see Sinquan Thompson come in there and knock it out. Bill, you and I were sitting here looking at it. I really thought that was a catch. Gets both feet back on the ground. Looks like he's making a forward movement with the ball.
Well, on 3rd down, Jason Wright has checked in, 3rd and 9. First possession for the Cardinals, trying to set up the screen. They get it to Wright. Another fumble, and it's an incomplete pass. So a sloppy start for Arizona.
Well, 3 and outs have been a problem all season for this football team, and you got to help the young quarterback. They didn't help him there. You get essentially a drop by Larry Fitzgerald and another one on a screen play by Jason Wright.
Cardinals last in 3rd down percentage at 26.5. The Broncos are 29th in the league. Cardinals were only 1 of 11 on 3rd downs last week. Didn't convert one until the 4th quarter. Rams punt, short and out of bounds. And they'll spot it at about the 25-yard line. The Broncos back to work when we return. Got a sports fan on your gift list? CBSSports.com shop has officially licensed NFL gear and get 3-day shipping on every order. Just go to shop at CBSSports.com. On 1st down, they run it to the left side with Noshawn Moreno. Career best 161 yards on 23 carries last week against the Chiefs. A 7-yard per carry average. Since week 10, Moreno ranks 2nd in the NFL in yards from scrimmage, behind Maurice Jones-Drew with 142 yards a game. 2nd and 7 for Denver, their 2nd possession. Orton will throw. Gets rid of it, incomplete. Nice defensive play intended for Eddie Royal. Great break on the ball by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And let's check in with JB in New York for an update.
Bill and Rich, in an AFC West matchup between Kansas City and San Diego, it's Phillip Rivers on 1st and 10, up top to Malcolm Floyd, 17-yard strike, capping a 10-play, 67-yard drive, 7-0. San Diego back to Bill and Rich.
Big game out in the AFC West. The Chiefs, one of the real surprise teams. The Chargers trying to hang in. They came in at 6 and 6. Orton under pressure. Incomplete over the head of Brandon Lloyd.
Well, it's no secret Arizona is going to try and bring pressure on third down. Denver has struggled this year on third down conversions. They've been awful. Currently 29th, converting just 33%. They have not been good enough on the early downs.
So we'll see. Britton Colquitt and Andre Roberts, the rookie out of the Citadel, third-round draft pick, is back deep, standing at his own 25-yard line. Colquitt, good high punt. Roberts fields it at the 12. Tries to get to the outside and does. A nice return out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. A 59-yard punt and a 25-yard return. 8:39 left in the first. 3-0 Broncos. Second possession for the Arizona Cardinals from their own 38-yard line. Skelton hands it to Hightower. Swarmed under at the line of scrimmage. Well, the Arizona offensive line will try to give the rookie quarterback some extra time and handle all the different looks the Broncos will throw at them today. The backs and receivers, big time matchup today with Larry Fitzgerald and Champ Bailey. And we'll get a look at both Beanie Wells and Tim Hightower at running back. 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. John Skelton, the rookie out of Fordham, 5th-round draft pick, starting today at quarterback for Arizona. Short drop for Skelton, lost it up the sidelines. Incomplete. Preston was the intended receiver, but he was well covered by Andre Goodman. Goodman back today after missing the last 4 games with thigh and hip issues.
Well, he's a very tall corner, and he plays this very well. Doesn't give Steve Preston a lot of room there on the boundary. John Skelton, he's going to have his hands full. This is a very experienced secondary in Denver. You look at Goodman, he's a 9-year player, and of course Champ Bailey, 12-year player. Very experienced on the back end.
Goodman hasn't played a full game since week 2. This is the kind of situation they wanted to avoid. Here they come on the blitz. Skelton stands in. He's hit hard. Incomplete. Preston had a chance, but I think he was distracted by Goodman swatting at the football.
Well, not an easy assignment for John Skelton. As I mentioned, 2 veteran corners, and with Goodman back, that's where a lot of the throws are going to go. People don't want to work towards Champ Bailey. We saw last week Matt Castle in Kansas City. He didn't want to throw. He told us during the week, I'm going to work away from Champ Bailey. Andre Goodman's going to get a lot of opportunities here today.
So Ben Graham is on to punt. Eddie Royal is back deep, standing at his own 13-yard line. End over end punt. Fielded at the 16 by Royal. Avoids 1 man. And dives forward to about the 25-yard line. 7:36 left to go in the first. A 46-yard punt, 10-yard return. We're back, and let's take a look at Gannon's MVP's most valuable points.
Well, the key for Denver, they got to find a way to get after the young quarterback. John Skelton, a rookie, making his first start. The Broncos have to apply constant pressure and force him to make mistakes. The key for Arizona with the quarterback situation has to be production in the running game. You have 2 very capable backs in Tim Hightower and Beanie Wells. Both should get plenty of carries against this Denver defense.
Broncos take over just short of their own 26-yard line. Leading 3-0. Moreno up the middle. Nice pickup on first down across the 30. Close to the 33-yard line.
Well, one bright spot last week was the running game and the play of Noshawn Moreno. They had a lot of success running the ball behind the right side of that offensive line. Chris Cooper, Ryan Harris getting good movement at the point of attack. And, of course, Bill, as you mentioned, Noshawn Moreno, his best rushing day last week against the Chiefs.
Starting to get it going. 2 100-yard games in the last 4 weeks. And the whistle before the snap.
First charge, timeout, Denver. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So the Broncos will take a timeout. 7:05 left to go in the first. 2nd and 3 after the timeout. Moreno cuts it back. Great second effort. Out across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Bill, I mentioned earlier the problem with Arizona defensively is their inability to get these backs on the ground. They've missed too many tackles. We talked to Adrian Wilson about that on Friday. He said, we have not tackled well as a defense. We have to do a better job today.
That moves the chains. 1st and 10 for Denver. Moreno alone in the backfield. They give it to him. Tripped up after a pickup of 2. Well, we spoke with Eric Studesville last night. He told us when he was called into Pat Bowlen's office, he actually thought he was about to be fired. He said, I thought everyone was gone, and I was out too. In his 14th season as a coach in the National Football League, started with the Bears back in 1997. The last 9 years he spent as the running backs coach for the Giants and the Buffalo Bills before going to Denver this year. Getting a great opportunity as the interim head coach of the Broncos. Orton. Incomplete. Threw it behind Eddie Royal. And Rashad Johnson had an opportunity for the interception.
Well, they bring pressure up inside. This is a dangerous throw. Kyle Orton, he really has 2 receivers. He's trying to stick this one into Eddie Royal, but because of the pressure up inside, he's forced to throw it early. He's anticipating where Eddie Royal's going to be, and he misses him on the back shoulder.
So after 5 straight complete passes, now 5 in a row incomplete for Orton. 3rd and 7 for Denver. And they're going to take another timeout. On 3rd and 7. 5:48 left to go in the first. Well, got a sports fan on your gift list? CBSSports.com shop has officially licensed NFL gear and get 3-day shipping on every order. Just go to shop.cbssports.com.
Well, Bill, we talked earlier. You see right there Mike McCoy, the offensive coordinator. He's never called a complete game in the National Football League. He's a former quarterback who was in training camp with Denver as a rookie free agent in 1995. He spent 9 years on the offensive staff with Carolina. And he's excited. He's excited for this opportunity today. But it's going to be different, and we talked with Kyle Orton about that. Somewhat different in his ear. The tempo and the pace at which he gets the plays into the substitutions is something they're going to have to work through early in this game.
Terrell Buckhalter has checked in on 3rd and long for Denver. Here they come on the blitz. Orton with time, intercepted. Michael Adams reverses his field. Adams. Daniel Graham finally brought him down.
Well, Kyle Orton has been really good all year at taking care of the football and making good decisions. He's thrown just 6 interceptions coming in, but the pressure is getting to him right here. He never feels Adams, who is trailing, and he is right there to make a big interception. This is a couple times now with Kyle Orton where he's tried to throw the ball at Eddie Royal. He's missed him behind. He doesn't feel Adams trailing in that 2-deep coverage.
Kyle Orton had his worst game in 2 seasons with the Broncos last week, going 9 of 28 for 117 yards in the 10-6 loss. And struggling here early. Nice hole for Beanie Wells. Wells is inside the 20. A little extra pushing and shoving.
I went back and watched the tape last week of this Arizona offense, and I really felt like they came out and they ran the ball well early, particularly with Tim Hightower, and then they kind of got away from it in the second half. And it wasn't like the score was completely out of hand. I think it's really important for Ken Wisenhunt with a young, inexperienced quarterback to run the ball on the early downs and have success.
After the interception, the Cardinals looking for their first touchdown in over 2 games. Skelton, incomplete. Overthrows early Doucette. It was pretty well covered. Saquon Thompson was right with him. Well, it's been a while for these Arizona Cardinals. Here was their last touchdown. It was late in the game against Kansas City 3 weeks ago. And the offense has just struggled.
Yeah, 8 straight quarters now since they've scored an offensive touchdown. And you're right, Bill, in this part of the field, they have not been very good.
Only 1 touchdown in their last 3 games. 3rd and 5. Short drop. Incomplete. Skelton was trying to hit the rookie from Stanford, Jim Dre.
Well, I think what John Skelton is starting to figure out, it's a lot different in the National Football League. You have to be exact. You have to be precise with your footwork, the timing and the rhythm in the passing game. And they're not going to be wide open. There's going to be tight windows, tight holes where you have to fit that ball in against this Denver secondary. And he's missed some throws early in this game.
Jay Feely on to try one from 36 yards out. Came in having connected on 15 of 16 attempts this season. On its way and good. So the Arizona Cardinals are on the board after the turnover. 4:35 left to go in the first. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, Jerry Jones has an ego the size of Texas and is the best-known owner in American sports. So how is he dealing with losing? Find out tonight on 60 Minutes, only on CBS.
I imagine he's not too happy with what's going on in Dallas. Have to make a coaching change. They're hosting the Super Bowl this year. The expectations at the beginning of the season for a team that returned a lot of their starters from a year ago, that's a group that has underperformed in Dallas.
We're still in the hunt. Arizona Cardinal football, baby.
Well, the Cardinals had a nice run recently, but they've lost their last 7 games, their longest losing streak since they dropped 8 in a row between September 17th and November 12th back in 2006. The Broncos, of course, have lost 7 of their last 8 and 15 in their final 22 games under Josh McDaniels. The coaching move was made on Monday. Skelton 0 for 6. Kyle Orton is struggling as well. He's missed his last 6 passes and has had an interception. Feely on to kick it off. Eric Decker back deep. Decker from the 3. What a return. And sort of lost his footing. Stumbled forward and brought down finally at about the 45-yard line. O'Brien Schofield tripped him up. Now let's take a look at Gannon's film study.
Well, the Broncos have been running the ball better the last few weeks. A big reason why is this run right here. Jab 26 sub. They get a double team at the point of attack. The left guard pulls around for that middle linebacker, and no Sean Moreno does the rest. Now he's coming off a career best 161-yard rushing performance. Don't be surprised to see plenty of that today.
Moreno on first down. Good field position to start for the Broncos after the nice return. Adrian Wilson made the tackle.
I really think it's important for this Denver offense to run the football today against an Arizona defense, Bill, that has really struggled at stopping the run. They're 30th. They give up almost 145 yards a game on the ground. You see Eric Studesville right there. And a running back coach that's now the interim head coach, you know in his heart of hearts he wants to pound the rock.
Second down, Moreno brought down hard, loses his helmet, but into Arizona territory. Greg Toller, the cornerback, made the tackle.
Well, I really like the way Noshawn Moreno's been running the last couple of weeks. Very decisive runner in that zone run scheme. Just one cut and he's downhill. And I think the group up front, the fact that they're healthy, they've played together the last 5 or 6 weeks, has really helped the production in the running game.
Moreno, the first-round pick last year, a brilliant career at Georgia. 3rd and 3, the reverse to Royal. Great penetration, ball flips up in the air now on the turf, and the Cardinals may have it.
I think they do have it. Boy, that was sloppy.
And another Arizona turnover.
Well, it's a big reason why both these teams are 3-9. They have not taken care of the ball offensively. A little simple toss play to Kyle Orton, and right there, this ball just comes out on his own. It just slips out of his left hand. Trying to do too much with the football. Eddie Royal, you have to be smarter with it in this situation. You've got to protect it. Actually knocks it out with his right hand.
Well, Brian Schofield recovered the fumble, so another opportunity for Arizona.
And they're getting some great field position here in the first half. They have to take advantage of these opportunities.
From the Denver 41-yard line, Fitzgerald is the motion man. Incomplete. Early Doucette was the intended receiver, covered by Parrish Cox, the cornerback out of Oklahoma State.
Well, they're just missing. I like the fact that they're giving John Skelton some opportunities, but these coverages have been tight. The secondary in Denver has done a really nice job passing off assignments and playing great man-to-man coverage.
So between the two quarterbacks, we've now had 13 straight incomplete passes.
Well, John Skelton 0 for 7. I always think it's important, Bill, for a young quarterback to get off to a good start, get him in a good rhythm early. That has not happened so far here today.
Beanie Wells has checked in. They give it to him on the delay, and he's down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
You got to keep in mind when you start talking about John Skelton, until this week, he has had no reps with the offense. He shared some scout team reps during the season with Max Hall. He's still learning their system and the terminology. And when we talked with Ken Wisenhunt on Friday about the situation, I said, how do you expect your quarterback to play? He said, I have no idea what to expect. We haven't seen enough of him in practice.
Made his NFL debut last week, going 3 of 6 for 45 yards and no interceptions. 3rd and 8. Broncos showing blitz. They rush for Reston. Short gain, but well short of the first down. Quan Thompson has been active here in the first quarter, made the stop.
Bill, my early impressions of this game is that Denver is the faster football team now. They're getting in and out of the huddle on offense. Defensively, they're flying around making plays. And it just looks, as I watch the game unfold, that Denver is fresher and they're playing faster.
And Graham is out on 4th and 6. Royal back deep. End over end. We'll let this go. And it will be down at about the 3. Well, the new interim head coach of the Denver Broncos, and how have the interim head coaches done so far? Well, Jason Garrett off to a nice start with the Dallas Cowboys. Beat the Giants 33-30 in his debut. Leslie Frazier, perfect start for him, 2-0. Beat the Redskins 17-13 in his debut as interim head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Here we're tied at 3, 1:35 left to go in the first. Long field for the Broncos. Orton trying to change the play. Moreno over the left side. Brought down at about the 8-yard line.
You get a good look when you watch these runs. Adrian Wilson, the strong safety of the Arizona Cardinals, he is going to be around the line of scrimmage. He is a box player. He's a run support player, and he is the player they want to bring on the pressures. And so it's going to be really important for Kyle Orton to locate number 24 each and every snap.
2nd and 6. Then they'll run it. Moreno with a nice little adjustment. Gets it across the 10 to the 11-yard line. And once again, let's check in with JB in New York for an update.
Bill and Rich, New England getting it done in the winter wonderland of Chicago. Danny Woodhead gets the call on 1st and goal from the 3. He takes it across for the score. It is 14-0 New England over Chicago in the second. Bill McAtee, Rich Gannon.
JB, thanks. The Patriots came in just punishing defenses, averaging 40 points a game and winning their last 4 in a row. 3rd and 2 for Denver. Cardinals showing blitz. Pressure. And they'll spot it at the 1 after the sack by Clark Higgins, his 4th of the season.
All right, Kyle Orton never had a chance. You're going to see Clark Higgins. He's on top of your screen. They don't even block him. You look at the right tackle there, Ryan Harris. Looked like there's some communication. He's thinking he's going to get help on the inside. Clark Higgins comes free. Kyle Orton has nowhere to go with the ball.
So that's going to be the end of the first quarter. We're tied at 3. We're back and ready to start the second quarter. Tight quarters for Britton Colquitt, standing at the back of the end zone. He's got to be careful. 4th and 12. The Cardinals will have good field position. Andre Roberts standing back at the Denver 46-yard line. Gets it off. It's a nice high kick. Fielded at the 46. Roberts, flag on the play and out of bounds at the 46-yard line of the Broncos. A 53-yard punt. And let's check the penalty. Arizona was all lined up to have terrific field position for this possession, but then a tremendous 56-yard punt, and now it seems to be a penalty against Arizona. Will march them back.
Yeah, you're going to see Mike Adams.
There is no foul for blocking the back on the play. The block was ruled to be from the side. First down, Arizona.
Well, you're going to see Mike Adams right here. He's going to come in. He's going to block. He's going to get a good piece of Vaughn right there. And good decision. Good no call there. He actually blocks him in the side. It looked initially like he blocked him in the back, but I think he gets enough of his side where the officials pick up the flag.
So they'll spot it where Roberts went out of bounds at the 47-yard line of the Denver Broncos. Arizona, their 3rd straight possession beginning in Denver territory. Hightower to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 2.
Bill, you mentioned the 3rd straight possession. They got to take advantage of some of this field position that they've had here in the first half.
Big day for the Skelton family. Mom and Dad, Anna and John are in attendance to watch John Jr., who's made the unlikely trip from El Paso, Texas, where he grew up, to the Bronx to play his college ball at Fordham. He threw for almost 10,000 yards and 69 touchdowns, and now starting for the Arizona Cardinals here in Week 14. Short drop, and there's finally a completion right at the sticks. Steven Spock, the tight end, who came in with only 5 catches for 24 yards through 12 games this season.
There we go. That's what he needed, a little completion to get him going. It was fun talking to him on Friday, talking about his dad. His dad was a center and a guard at UTEP, played in the CFL, and was his offensive line coach in high school. Good footwork. He's got his eyes where they need to be downfield. He's got to be firmer with some of the throws. I've watched a couple of the early throws where he's putting some air on it. You have to get it up and down quicker.
Reston is the motion man. Hightower, now they flip it to the reverse, and he's got some running room. Nice block by Skelton. Reston down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. And the rookie made a big-time block on the play.
Well, we saw him work on this play at practice on Friday. Bresson is the guy you want. He's got great speed. Watch the block right there by John Skelton. Remember, he is 6'5", 245 pounds. That is a big block on Jason Hunter.
Good for 17 yards, and they spot it at the 19-yard line of the Denver Broncos. I formation. Hightower, right side, trying to get to the edge. They string it out, and out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. David Bruton pushed him out. Well, it's been a while since they've
had some success down here in this part of the field. And, you know, I think one of the reasons why they've struggled in the red zone is they haven't been able to run the ball. Good red zone teams have the ability to run the ball in this part of the field.
Second and a short 11. Shotgun for Skelton. Incomplete. Trying to hit Preston. Parrish Cox had the coverage.
Boy, that is tight coverage. It's hard to find a hole in this defense. You may be...
Parrish Cox, the 5th-round pick out of Oklahoma State, had perhaps his best game of the year against Kansas City, but he was also involved in a pretty serious off-the-field issue this week, an extended investigation that ultimately resulted in his arrest for an alleged sexual assault. That issue and the investigation is ongoing. The Broncos say they're obviously aware of the situation, taking the matter very seriously, and cooperating with every aspect of the process. 3rd and 11 for Arizona.
Delay a game.
Skelton tried to get the timeout called. See if he did.
First charge, timeout, Arizona.
Just ahead of the play clock hitting 0. Timeout on the field, 12-13 left to go in the first half. We're back, and coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Big 3rd down coming up for the Arizona Cardinals. They're tied at 3, just over 12 minutes to go in the half. Arizona's had their last 13 snaps in Denver territory. Skelton from the shotgun. Gets rid of it. Roberts, the rookie. And a late flag comes in. Pushing and shoving.
Well, Bill, we saw that 3rd down, and 3rd down has been a problem for Arizona as well. Just 26% on 3rd down.
After the play was over and away from the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 76, 15-yard penalty. The down counts, 4th down.
Deuce Latui, and that hurts.
That's just what Jay Feely wants. It's another 15 yards that he's going to have to deal with, the field goal kicker for Arizona. Sure we'll have a conversation with Deuce at some point.
Feely's only miss this season was a 54-yarder in week 2 against Atlanta. This one will be from 48 yards out.
Well, this is a team that struggled. We talked about the turnovers, but the penalties. Penalties have been a big problem as well for the Cardinals this season.
16 of 17 in field goal tries this season. And calmly boots it through. So the Arizona Cardinals take the lead. 11:50 left to go in the first half. 6-3 Cardinals. 6-3 Cardinals after the 48-yard field goal by Jay Feely. Feely set to kick it off to Eric Decker. Had a nice return on the last kickoff. Rookie 3rd-round pick out of Minnesota. Came in averaging almost 23 yards a return. Yard deep in the end zone. And out across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Broncos take over, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. And a rough stretch for Kyle Orton. And the Cardinals are going to take a timeout.
Second charge, timeout, Arizona.
11:44 left in the half. Timeout on the field.
Well, it's easy to see why a team is 3-9 right now. You look at this 12 men on the field. That's why they had to use the timeout in that situation. know, it's easy to blame it on the quarterback situation here in Arizona. The defense has had their own issues.
Kyle Orton looking for his first completion since the opening drive. In the shotgun, they come on the blitz. Orton gets rid of it, incomplete, well short of Jabbar Gaffney.
I got a chance to see Kyle Orton last week in Kansas City. He missed a number of throws where he one-hopped them into the receivers. Just seemed like he was a little bit off. And when we talked to him last night, Bill, that was one of the things he talked about. I think it's important not only for the young quarterback John Skelton to get off to a good start, but Kyle Orton as well.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Denver trailing 6-3. Cardinals again showing blitz. They keep it on the ground. Moreno to the outside across the 30 and out of bounds right near the marker. And it will be a first down. Greg Toller pushed him out.
Well, we talk about tackling and setting the edge against a running back like Noshawn Moreno. You're going to see they get sucked up inside and then you can't get him on the ground. He's got great speed on the perimeter. Mike Adams, he gets hooked. He gets hooked right there by Eddie Rule. He has to keep an outside shoulder contained, force that run back up inside where he has help.
That was good for 12 yards and a first down. Orton stands in, and we're going to have pass interference. Brandon Lloyd was the intended receiver, and Greg Toller was battling him all the way up the sideline.
Illegal contact, defense. Number 28, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Toller, who came back last week after dealing with a foot injury, called for the illegal contact.
Well, Brandon right there, he gets a little grab, just enough to slow down Brandon Lloyd. And Brandon Lloyd has been a handful for a number of corners this season. You think about a guy that was run out of San Francisco and Washington and Chicago. He was a healthy scratch in 14 games last year, just 8 receptions. He was a practice squad player, or the scout team player of the week 6 times. He's had to work to get on the field, leading the National Football League coming into today's game in receiving yards.
Moreno, pickup of 1. Brandon Lloyd having a breakthrough year in his 8th season in the National Football League. Broncos big play receiver. He came in with 16 catches of 25 yards or more and 8 of 40 or more. And how about that comparison?
Yeah, you talk about what a difference a year has made for Brandon Lloyd. I just think he's playing with confidence. Josh McDaniels, when he was here, and this coaching staff, they really feel like he has emerged and he has taken control of the situation. He's become an elite receiver in the league.
Decker. Fumble. Cardinals have it. Another turnover by the Denver Broncos. Kerry Rhodes with the recovery. Rhodes has made some big plays for Arizona on defense. A 42-yard fumble return for a touchdown in Week 4 against San Diego, and a 27-yard fumble return for a touchdown in Week 5 against New Orleans.
A little bubble screen, and Eric Decker trying to say that his knee was down, but I think that ball was coming out ahead of time. Well, it's tough to tell. Oh, yeah, look how he's carrying the football. Well, that was ugly. When you see him the way he's carrying that football, he's carrying it like a loaf of bread. No wonder it came out.
Cardinals are up in a hurry because they want to avoid what just happened. The challenge flag coming out.
Denver is challenging the rule on the field of a fumble.
And you talk about the things that you have to get used to and adjust to as a head coach. Eric Studesville hasn't been in that position before, to have to challenge before the next play is run. We're back awaiting the ruling after the Broncos challenge. Let's take another look.
Well, for those youngsters looking at home, that's not how you want to carry the ball, but I really think that Alan Branch is the one that knocks it out. Looks like part of his hip is down, and then of course Alan Branch comes in with that helmet and knocks it out.
The ruling on the field stands. Denver is charged with first challenge And it's also charged its third time. Denver will not have any more challenges for the remainder of the first half.
So Denver all out of timeouts. Arizona with one remaining. Still just about 10.5 minutes left to go in the first half.
Well, this is not the kind of start that Denver was looking for. They've been sloppy. They're not taking care of the ball on offense. They put their defense into some really bad situations here in the first half.
So the Cardinals with a speed package on the field with Jason Wright and LaRod Stevens-Howing. Getting everything set, and now we're ready to go. Skelton from the shotgun. Dumps it down to Fitzgerald, and he has an Arizona first down. And with that, he becomes the Cardinals' all-time leading receiver, passing his former teammate, Anquan Bolden.
Well, that's a keeper right there. Larry Fitzgerald. To John Skelton, it wouldn't be a bad idea to locate number 11. Good things happen when you throw him the football.
Pro Bowl receiver the last 3 seasons, one of the best in the National Football League, 4 times overall in his 6 years in the league. And again, Fitzgerald diving forward inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line.
And it's interesting when you look at Champ Bailey matched up on Larry Fitzgerald. Larry told us on the field, Bill, before the game that he texted Champ this week and said, hey, I don't want you to do to me what you did to Bo last week in Kansas City. He shut out Dwayne Bowe. He said, take it easy on me. But you see right there, Larry Fitzgerald, 588 receptions. He has been outstanding as a Cardinal.
First round pick in 2004 in his 7th year out of Pitt. One of the really good guys in the National Football League. 2nd and 6 for the Cardinals on the move. Skelton. Incomplete. We're going to have a flag. It was Bailey on Fitzgerald.
I think Champ might have gotten a piece of his jersey. He tried to hook him. Old veteran move.
9-time Pro Bowl corner, Champ Bailey.
Holding. Offense, number 11.
Whoa!
10-yard penalty.
How about that?
Second
Two
down.
wily vets going at it. Look at Champ laughing.
He shut down Dwayne Bowe last week. Bowe came in as one of the hottest receivers in the league, and he was held without a catch.
Well, he just hooked him early. It's different if you swat. Looks like he tried to grab a hold of Champ and pull his way by him. Larry Fitzgerald is a big, strong receiver. He uses his hands very well at the line of scrimmage.
We'll be watching this matchup throughout the game. 2 catches for Fitzgerald for 15 yards. Move it all the way back to the Arizona 46-yard line. They have to get it to about the Denver 38 for a first down. Play action. Skelton to Doucette. Get some of that yardage back. Down to the 41 of the Broncos.
Well, that looked like the first play that he threw last week. 88 dig. A perfect strike to Steve Breston. He told us, he said he didn't have time to be nervous as he came in last week. Never ran that play before in practice. It was his first time he ever ran it in the game last week. And I really thought he did a nice job. You know, just 3 of 6 last week, but he showed some poise for a young player.
All field goals so far. 3rd and 3 for Arizona. Skelton. Now that was intended for Fitzgerald, and again well covered by Champ Bailey. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
Well, I know Larry Fitzgerald's over there, but that guy's there as well, Champ Bailey. And my advice to the young quarterback, go pick a fight with someone else besides Champ Bailey. There's a reason he's a 9-time Pro Bowler. We talked about what Matt Castle told us last week. So I'm not even looking in the direction of Champ Bailey. He had that kind of respect for him. You have to see throws when you're thrown in the direction of Champ Bailey.
Graham on to punt again. Standing back on his own 45-yard line. Royal is the deep man for Denver. High end over end short kick. Fair catch made by Royal at about the 8-yard line.
Well, when I got a chance to go back and watch this game again, it was as good a matchup as I have seen in a while. Champ Bailey absolutely dominated Dwayne Bowe. He shut him out. He frustrated him early. He was all over the field in man-to-man coverage. He just locked down Dwayne Bowe, and it was an amazing performance. Dwayne Bowe did not have a catch in that game, Bill, and he was coming in as one of the hottest receivers in football. Champ Bailey had an outstanding day.
Bowe had 7 games with a touchdown pass and 3 straight 100-yard games. Ineffective against Bailey. Moreno. Nice second effort to the 15-yard line. A good pickup on first down. Kerry Rhodes, the free safety, made the tackle.
I was very interested to see what they were going to do offensively with the change with the play caller. Curious to see if they would have more of an emphasis on running the football. You see Mike McCoy there, Eric Studesville, the running back coach. So far, that's not been the case.
Moreno. First down for Denver. Terrell Washington, the inside linebacker, pushed him out of bounds. Washington is the talented rookie out of TCU, second-round draft pick. So they spot it at the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 for Denver. They trail 6-3. Lance Ball is checked in. He's in the backfield with Orton. Orton gets rid of it. Gaffney with the catch. Right near the first down. It will depend on his forward progress. First down for the Broncos from their own 33-yard line. Ball with the carry right up the middle. Paris Lennon made the stop. The Cardinals' leading tackler came in with 95 stops, 2 interceptions, and a sack through the first 12 games.
Well, everyone you talk to on the Arizona staff talks about Paris Lennon. He has really stood out in the middle of that defense. Bill Davis, you see there, the defensive coordinator. He's been their most consistent performer throughout the season. Though you mentioned leads the team with 95 tackles, he's been solid in the middle.
Came over from the Rams in the offseason. 2nd and 7 for Denver. Cardinals on the blitz. Pick it up. Intercepted. Rhodes. Kerry Rhodes. And another Denver turnover. The 4th of the game.
Well, Kerry Rhodes had an interception last week, and this is very uncharacteristic for Kyle Orton. This is what I would describe as an ugly throw late down the middle, trying to fit one in there to Jabbar Gaffney. And these are not the type of throws that Kyle Orton has made this year. He's been very judicious, just 6 interceptions coming into today's game, but he's taken some chances and he's missed on a number of throws.
Sailed well over the head of Jabbar Gaffney. So another chance for the Cardinals to put one in the end zone. Beanie Wells has checked in from the Denver 24-yard line. Skelton with the short drop, flush from the pocket, gets rid of it, and that's caught by Doucette. And they're saying he was out of bounds. Incomplete.
Well, you're going to see John Skelton get outside the pocket, reset his feet, and make a throw on the boundary to early Doucette. Well, I think he makes that catch. I think that left arm, the feet are in bounds. That left arm comes down first. That may be one they want to take another look at.
Yep, there it is, the challenge flag.
I hope Coach Wisenhunt wasn't listening to me. I don't want to be wrong, Bill. I just thought that he had both feet and looked like that left forearm came down in bounds.
I think the question is whether or not he had possession when he went out of bounds, because clearly the feet were in.
Arizona is challenging the rule of the field of an incomplete catch.
Take another look.
Question is whether the left arm, the left part of the forearm, the left shoulder, that comes down before the ball goes out of bounds. And it looks to me, that's really close.
From that angle, it looked like he had possession.
That's so close. It's almost simultaneous when the left shoulder hits the ground and then the ball starts hitting the white part of the boundary.
.55 left to go in the first half.
Good look at Kyle Orton, and he's not played well here in the first half.
Rough week so far for Kyle Orton. The Broncos are the only team in the league with 3 players, each with over 50 catches. Brandon Lloyd came in with 60, Jabbar Gaffney 56, Eddie Royal with 53. Lloyd and Gaffney count for more than half of the Denver offense, and they are the leading receiving duo in the National Football League with 1,846 yards combined. Waiting the results of the challenge. Jerome Boger, our referee. And he'll let us know.
After reviewing the play, it was a completed catch.
Well,
We should have talked about that it's moved down inbound and maintain possession throughout the catch. Arizona has won
really nice
both
job by
challenges
Early
and now
Doucette, but you can see both feet in bounds. I think that the left forearm, the left elbow hits first. At that point, it is considered a catch right there. Really nice job by Early Doucette getting skinny on the boundary.
Came in with 23 catches, 259 yards and a touchdown coming in his 3rd year out of LSU. And so Cardinals will get an additional challenge because they got their first 2 right. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the half. Beanie Wells is in the backfield. They give it to Wells. Fights his way down inside the 10, close to the 6. Kevin Vickerson, his 5th year out of Michigan State, made the stop. Frustrating day for Kyle Orton.
Well, Denver's got to bow up here. They've been pretty good in this part of the field, holding people to field goals. But they've really been put in some bad situations. Offense has turned the ball over 4 times today already in this game.
Plenty of snaps in Denver territory. Wells stays in the game, I formation. Give it to Beanie Wells. And he's down to the 5. Tim Vickerson was the first one there.
Well, they have a big offensive line here in Arizona, and they're trying to run the ball in this part of the field. We talked about good red zone teams have the ability to do that. You get their big, heavy people in there. And have an outstanding run game coordinator here in Arizona, Russ Grimm, former Pro Bowler and Hall of Famer. We visited with him on Friday, and he said that running game is starting to come along. It's going to be very important today with John Skelton under center.
Cardinals looking for their first 3rd down conversion. 3rd and 2. Skelton incomplete. Hightower was open, and he's saying, get it out, get it out. Well, that'll bring up 4th down.
A really nice job by Jason Hunter. He was on the back shoulder of John Skelton the whole way, and Skelton didn't really have anywhere to go with it. That ball had to come out right away.
I think he lost his shoe.
You would too if you were running from Jason Hunter.
So again, we'll see Jay Feely, this time from 23 yards out. And they fake it. Feely, touchdown! Wow, what a play. Arizona in the end zone for the first time in 9+ quarters.
Well, Jay Feely showing a little athleticism there and some speed. You wonder why he wears those gloves? Totally fooled him. Ben Graham does a real nice job with the flip, and Jay Feely does the rest.
If the offense can't do it, let the field goal unit give it a try. And now he has to kick the extra point. And good. It's been all Jay Feely. Field goals and a touchdown. And the Cardinals lead it 13-3. Another look.
Yeah, Ben Graham's just going to flip it, and it's all Jay Feely. He shows some pretty good speed for a kicker. And of course, Denver doing everything they can to block the kick. You never anticipate that. Kicker with some speed on the perimeter.
Not a great leap into the stands, however.
Well, the block was clearly on there, and you see.
Let's see.
The element of surprise. He needed some help, didn't he? He needed a step stool.
Yeah.
And when you're 3-9, you can take some chances like that. I like that. I like to see that from Ken Wisenhunt and his staff.
Absolutely, and there hasn't been a lot to smile about, but Ken had a bit of a grin after the touchdown.
Well, they couldn't come away with a field goal again. You know, their defense has done an outstanding job creating turnovers and short fields for the offense, and the offense hasn't been able to do anything with them. Got down there a couple times, had to settle for field goals. It was a big score by that offense. Or should I say the special teams. Offense couldn't get it done. Stand down.
So if you have Jay Feely in fantasy football, do you get a touchdown?
It's pretty good. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I think so. 4:02 left in the half. Decker from inside the 5. Nice open field tackle brought down at the 20-yard line. Stevens howling with the tackle.
Well, it's hard to win on the road when you don't take care of the football, and it's been a problem all season for Denver, but particularly here in the first half. And as you mentioned with Kyle Orton, he's been so good all season. Eddie Rule, he takes a shot at it. Eric Decker, careless with the way he's carrying the football. And of course, Kyle Orton comes back and throws another interception to really hurt his football team.
Nothing there for Noshawn Moreno. Paris Lennon led the charge.
Well, they look out of sync offensively, and of course that's going to happen when you have the turnovers. I think it's really important for Kyle Orton to settle down, for this offense to start making some first downs and get some type of positive momentum as you head into the locker room at halftime. Just 3.5 minutes here to go in the first half.
Darnell Dockett is the man down on the sideline being attended to. Second down for Denver. Moreno brought down hard. Goodness gracious, Adrian Wilson, a 3-time Pro Bowl strong safety, making his presence felt.
Oh, you just got the sense when we sat down and visited with Adrian Wilson, he wasn't in a good mood, Bill. The guy with a lot of pride, takes a great deal of pride in his team's preparation and performance each week, and he said it's not been good enough. Right there, you see him take it out on Noshawn Moreno.
3rd and 7 for Denver. Just under 3 minutes to go in the half. Going blitz. Orton with time, and that is incomplete. Royal was the intended receiver, and Michael Adams had the coverage. And flag down. Check the penalty.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27.
They call it on
Out of
Adams.
the foul. Automatic. First down.
Well, he had been filling in for Greg Toller at right corner for the Cardinals, and Arizona's been pleased with his play during that stretch. 1st and 10 for Denver. Orton going deep, incomplete. Gaffney was in the vicinity, but it was 5 to 7 yards over his head. 2nd and 10.
Oh, good look there at Eric Studesville. I got a kick out of him last night, Bill. We were talking about, I said, how did you tell your wife? He said he called her on the phone. She was driving on E470 in Denver. He told her to pull over. Told her to put the car in park. She started screaming. She was excited. I imagine she was probably relieved when he first told her about Josh getting fired. Not easy on these families.
Trying to run the screen. We have a flag on the play. Well, Buckhalter out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 74 was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Ryan Harris, the right tackle.
Well, you're going to see right here, the problem is it's not Ryan Harris. He has to be up on the line of scrimmage. He's uncovered.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 9 after the penalty. Buckhalter stays in the game. Loud here in Arizona. Orton with time. Now takes off, gets rid of it. Incomplete. Buckhalter was turning around to run before he had brought it in. And that will bring up 4th down. He was hit hard by Rashad Johnson, the safety. Reached the 2-minute warning. And the Cardinals lead it over the Broncos. The last time the Broncos had 4 turnovers in the first half was in October of 2008. They lost to the Patriots 41-7. In a difficult first half for Denver. Colquitt on to punt. 4th and 9. Roberts is the deep man for Arizona, back at his own 15-yard line. Excellent punt. Roberts retreats back to the 7. Still on his feet. And a nice return out to the 26-yard line. 1:44 left to go in the half. A 58-yard punt and an 18-yard return. Well, coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights from Week 14. That's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
A good look at John Skelton. If you're wondered about the game plan, it's been tailored just for him this week. Not as much volume. They really tried to focus on concepts that he's familiar with and has had a chance to rep here in practice this week.
He's a big kid at 6'6", 245 pounds. Out of the shotgun. Hightower's back there with him. How aggressive will they be here? Andre Roberts with the catch, but a flag on the play.
I think they're going to get Jason Hunter.
Offside. Defense, number 52, jumped into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And they call it on Hunter, his 5th year out of Appalachian State.
Well, the turnovers have been killer, we know that, but the penalties, the missed assignments, the mental errors have crippled Denver here in the first half.
So they move it up to the 31-yard line. 1:39 left to play in the half. Skelton with time. Great protection, incomplete at the feet of Roberts.
Both defenses playing a lot of man-to-man coverage. You see Denver there playing 2-deep man coverage, and so those underneath routes have to win. See, just working back across the screen. You got to be perfect with your location on these throws. They're not going to make those throws down by their shoelaces.
2nd and 5, still plenty of time left. He throws it behind Doucette. Trying to hit him on the slant. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, you got to be careful now, John Skelton. You got a corner blitz. It's coming right to his left side, and that's the last place you want to work back into where the pressure's coming. You can see how they rotate coverage back down there. Ronaldo Hill, the safety, coming after they brought the corner. You're better off working the other side away from the blitz.
Cardinals still looking for their first third down conversion. Hightower alone in the backfield. They give it to him. It's to the outside. A first down for Hightower and out of bounds. Pushed out at the 42 of the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, this is the couple of the runs we saw last week with Hightower. Very good speed on the edge. I just think he needs more opportunities. As you look at a guy like Tim Hightower, I think he gets better as the game goes along, but they have not run the ball very consistently this year. And of course, they've gotten behind early in games.
1:26 left to go in the half. From the shotgun, Skelton with time. Fitzgerald brought down at the 41-yard line of the Broncos.
Well, Champ knows he has help over the top with the safety. He's trailing him. That's a very good throw and catch. You can just see John Skelton getting more and more comfortable as this game goes along.
Clock continues to run. That was good for 17 yards. Bobble on the snap.
That didn't look right. And I'm thinking he thinks the quarterback, oh, no, it flipped right out of his hand. You can see Stenline, the center. It's a nice job falling on it, though. That's not something we normally see. Look at that ball, looks slippery. Look at all the...
But the clock is running. And another ugly play.
Lyle Stenline, just take a close look. This is twice now where the ball has slipped right out of his hands. He better grab a towel or something. Maybe he has an injury on that hand. Oh, he's bleeding from his right thumb.
It'll be 3rd and 12, and ooh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, that makes it a little difficult to snap the ball, I suppose.
Clock stops. 33 seconds left to go in the half. It'll be 3rd and 12. Another look.
Well, he's trying to grip it, but he just can't squeeze with that right thumb. But you would think after we're even used, I know they only have the one timeout, would have been a good place to use it.
Rex Hadnot, in his 7th year out of Houston, has checked in now at center. 3rd and long for Arizona. Skelton. Screen to right. Brought down at the 37-yard line. Well short of the first down by DJ Williams.
Well, they don't have a timeout. They have to run that field goal. Crew on the field. Plenty of time.
Feely is on to try a 55-yard attempt. That will equal the longest of his career.
He's got plenty of leg.
Wow. Jay Feely's having the game of his life.
You might want to give him some more snaps on offense. Boy, he just drills this thing.
4th time that he's kicked a 55-yard field goal. The last time was a year ago against Miami. That was good.
Special teams are doing their part here. And of course, defense has been outstanding in the first half for Arizona.
Pretty good. Pretty good stats.
He might have to play. Maybe we see Jay Feely at quarterback in the second half. Got those gloves on. He'll be able to throw the football. We've seen him run with it. We've seen him kick it. You can see if he can throw it here in the second half.
2 seconds remaining in the first half. 16-3 Arizona.
Well, Denver needs something to get him going. Sometimes when you're struggling, your quarterback is not playing well. A big play in the kicking game can be just what you need to get you started.
Short kick. And that will do it for the first half. Parrish Cox was the man who returned it. action on the field. There's a man down and a flag. Kyle McCarthy is the injured player. Boger and his crew trying to sort things out.
Remember, if there's a personal foul in the final play of the second quarter, that would cause a 15-yard penalty on the second half kickoff. Previously, no penalty was enforced.
After the play was over, we have fouls on both teams. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team number 29. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 59 of the receiving team. Those fouls offset. This is the end of the half.
The injured player is still down. It's the end of the first half with our score 16-3 Arizona. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Awaiting the start of the third quarter here in Arizona. 16-3 Cardinals. Bill McAtee back with Rich Gannon, and a disastrous opening half for that Denver Broncos offense.
Yeah, it really has not been good. They're not taking care of the ball. You don't give yourself a chance to win when you turn over 4 times, and they've been bad on third down. They need to settle down and get something going here in the third quarter.
All right, let's take a look now at our Droid Pro Play presented by Motorola. And it's the Arizona fake field goal for a touchdown. Ben Graham tossing it back to Jay Feely. Races to the corner of the end zone. First touchdown in 9 quarters for the Arizona Cardinals. And let's take a look at the numbers from the first half.
Well, I mentioned those first 4 turnovers in the first half. The good thing from Arizona's perspective, John Skelton taking care of the football, but those are disturbing numbers. You look at the third down conversions, not good for either team. They have to be better on third down.
Cardinals will get it to start the second half. What a memorable game for Jay Feely, and one that Kyle Orton would like to forget, at least the first half. The Rod Stevens-Howling, dangerous. He's the deep man. Good kick, fielded, yard deep in the end zone. Stevens-Howling, who has 2 returns for touchdowns this season, brings it out across the 20 to the 23-yard line, and that's where Arizona, leading 16-3, will start first and 10. Well, what the Cardinals did in the first half?
Well, the ones that bother me are those 3 and outs, and that's been a problem for this offense throughout the course of the season. 38% of their possessions have ended in 3 and outs, or either a number of them have ended with a turnover. So that's demoralizing. That's something that has to get straightened out here in the second half.
Just underway in the second half. Arizona and Denver. The Cardinals from their own 23-yard line. Play action. Skelton gets rid of it. Fitzgerald with the catch and a first down to the 35-yard line.
Now, these are the routes that I think you could complete on a corner like Champ Bailey, because Larry Fitzgerald can use his size. It's just a little dig route where he's coming back to the football. Very difficult to defend for Champ Bailey.
A lot of veteran quarterbacks would go away from Champ Bailey, but Skelton, the rookie, has not been afraid to go after him. Of course, it helps to have a 4-time Pro Bowl receiver on the other end. Hightower up the middle, a nice run. Tim Hightower down close to the 45-yard line. Bannon made the tackle.
Well, this is good to see if you're the Cardinals. Get some push up front. You see Justin Bannon there. That defensive line in Denver has been worked over the last couple of weeks. Just a little zone run right up in between the right guard and the center. Deuce Latui, Senline, Faneca doing a nice job at the point.
Cardinals showed flashes in the running game last week. They had a 5.5-yard average on 19 running plays for 105 yards. Offset eye. Hightower. Good penetration by that Denver front, and that's a pickup of 1. Vickerson made the stop.
I really felt it was important for Arizona coming in to be able to run the ball successfully on the early downs, take some of the pressure off your young quarterback, and not put them in those third and long situations, which have been a problem all season for the Cardinals.
They spot it at the 46-yard line, just underway in the second half, a lengthy opening half. Arizona leading it 16-3. First and 10. Play action. Good fake from Skelton. That's caught by Fitzgerald, center of the field. Nice play inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
Well, the big, tall quarterback making some good throws and getting more confidence. I like the fact that they're taking some shots on the early downs. They're going to clear out in the middle. Then, of course, Larry Fitzgerald is just going to come back in on a little in route right in the middle of that defense.
That was good for 25 yards.
Great catch by Larry Fitzgerald. Not easy when they're behind you when you're coming out of that break, but very good job adjusting on the move.
Skelton 11 of 23 for 116 yards. Arizona's played most of this game in Denver territory. Hightower fights his way down inside the 25 to the 24. Robert Ayers made the stop. Ayers slowly coming back from a foot injury that caused him to miss 5 games. Second year, first-round draft pick a year ago out of Tennessee.
A good look at Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator in Denver. They have really struggled stopping the run. It's been a problem all year. 31st, they give up 145 yards a game.
Second and 5, power I formation. Here they come off the edge. Do a good job picking it up. Skelton able to avoid the first wave and out of bounds, but a flag is down on the other side of the field, and the crowd wants a late hit. But no flag, and Skelton comes up smiling.
Boy, what a great block by Tim Hightower. Give John Skelton a chance to get out of that.
While the quarterback was in the pocket, illegal contact, defense number 57. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down, Arizona.
They call it on Mario Hagan, the inside linebacker.
Well, just keep an eye. You're going to see the pressure. Watch this block right here by Tim Hightower. He puts Bruton right on his back and allows Skelton to get outside the pocket and keep this play alive. But as a quarterback, you love to see it when your backs are willing to step up and block like that in the passing game. That was impressive by Tim Hightower.
Cardinals threatening again. They spot it right at the 10-yard line, so it'll be first and goal. In that power I formation, Hightower's the deep back. They give it to him. Puts it back inside, lowers his shoulder down to the 7. Marcus Thomas, the defensive end out of Florida, made the stop.
Well, this is not how Denver wanted to start the second half. They're behind by 2 scores. You can't allow a team like Arizona to drive the length of the field and score on their first possession here in the third quarter.
They spot it just inside the 8. Second and goal. Larod Stevens-Howling is checked in. He's the motion man at the top of the screen. Now an empty backfield, shotgun. Skelton to Fitzgerald, who does a nice job making the catch and falls forward inside the 5. Ronaldo Hill made the stop. He was originally Arizona's 7th-round pick. Was Hill back in 2001.
This is why Larry Fitzgerald is so good. Look at that catch. Look at the concentration. It's great coverage by Champ Bailey. Not a great throw, but it just tells you, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, no one better at catching the ball away from his body. And of course, after he catches it, he's very difficult to bring down in the open field.
And this is just a world-class matchup between Fitzgerald and Bailey. Third and goal for Arizona. Skelton batted down. Incomplete. And guess who we're going to see?
Well, you're going to see pressure off the edge. It's Ronaldo Hill, and he's going to do a good job getting his hands up and knocking this out. They're trying to throw that quick screen to Larry Fitzgerald.
Jay Feely, who has accounted for all of the Arizona points. On to try his 4th field goal. This from 23 yards out. And good. And the Jay Feely Show continues. Feely 19, Denver 3. John Skelton on the Arizona sideline. How would you evaluate his performance so far, Rich?
Well, Bill, he got off to a rocky start, but he's settled in nicely. He's making good decisions. And the most important thing, he's taking care of the football, and he's gotten Larry Fitzgerald more involved. That's really important.
Feely with a short kick. Fielded at the 9-yard line by Decker. Decker. Up the sideline and into Arizona territory. A nice return to the 40 of the Arizona Cardinals. Finally, Michael Adams pushed him out of bounds. Decker, the rookie out of Minnesota, they like him. Orton will try to get it together for the Broncos. The Cardinals trying to break a 7-game losing streak. They lead it 19-3, but good field position for the Denver Broncos. Orton under pressure. Gets out of trouble and falls forward to the 35-yard line. Let's take a look at the first half possessions for the Denver Broncos. It wasn't pretty.
Well, it started good, 11 plays and 73 yards, but after that, Bill, you're right, it was ugly. And the thing that's disturbing is the turnovers. But then look at the 3- and 4-play drives. I mean, in and out, putting the defense in bad field position, and of course, time of possession was a big story in the first half.
2nd and 5 after the scramble by Orton. Moreno alone in the backfield. It's Richard Quinn, the motion man. Nice hole, right side. Moreno. First down for Denver to the 24-yard line. Paris Lennon finally brought him down.
Well, Richard Quinn does a nice job. You're going to see him work back across the formation. He gets the kick out. Look at that big hole for Noshan Moreno. And when your quarterback is struggling, this is what helps him. Big runs on the early downs, taking some of the pressure off of Kyle Orton. Don't put him in those 3rd and long situations where they have struggled the entire first half.
1st and 10 for the Broncos. They trail by 16. Orton. Incomplete. Daniel Graham couldn't quite bring it in. It had a lot of zip on it.
Well, sometimes you guess wrong, and they guessed wrong there. It's just a 2-man route. They want to sell the run action, but Arizona's dropping back in coverage. And it's tough on a quarterback like Kyle Orton when you have a 2-man route and they're only rushing 4 and dropping 7 in coverage.
Take a look at that, averaging almost 300 yards a game this season, only 91 today. And he's thrown 2 picks. 2nd and 10. Short drop for Orton. Incomplete. Royal was the intended receiver, and we have another late flag.
Well, even that throw, though, by Kyle Orton, it was an ugly throw. You know, Adrian Wilson was right there. Don't know that he's seeing out in front of some of these throws.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 50, with a blow to the head. 15-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
J.D. Walton, the rookie center.
Well, he's working against Darnell Dockett right in the middle there. They're getting a double team. Looks like late right here. He's going to come in and push him right under the face mask. The official right there to make the call.
Walton, the tough kid, 3rd rounder out of Baylor. They noticed him at Baylor because he played so well in the Big 12 against Ndamukong Suh and Gerald McCoy, the top 2 defensive tackles in the draft.
Well, he's going to be a good one. He's just one of 5 rookies, 5 rookie offensive linemen to start every game this year. But boy, penalties in that part of the field are a killer.
So 3rd and long from the 40. Orton guns it. And that is caught for a first down by Gaffney. And that throw was on the money.
Well, it's a big play by Kyle Orton. You're just trying to get some of it back. You know, not a lot of plays on the play sheet for a 3rd and 25. but you want to help your field goal kicker. It's a big conversion there. Well, not a conversion, but a big throw to Gaffney to get him back in field goal range.
It's actually just past the original line of scrimmage, so down to about the 22-yard line, and that will bring up 4th down. Stephen Hauschka, who spent the last 2 years in Baltimore, just signed yesterday. Matt Prater did not make the trip. On with a 40-yard attempt. Pushed it to the right. He was hooking it during the warm-up and perhaps overcompensating there. So no points for the Denver Broncos. Kyle Orton and the Denver offense continuing to struggle. How about this quarterback comparison between the...
Well, Kyle Orton has played this year.
1st and 10 for Arizona from their own 30-yard line. Beanie Wells is in the backfield. Skelton the shotgun. Incomplete. Tried to check it down. Bit of miscommunication with another rookie, Jim Dre out of Stanford. Well, Survivor Week kicks off on Wednesday when a family challenge brings out the best and worst in the survivors. New Survivor Wednesday and the season finale next Sunday, only on CBS. Larry Fitzgerald being examined on the sideline, checking the calf. 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. Wells alone again in the backfield. They give it to Beanie Wells. He'll be stopped for a loss. Swarming Denver defense. David Bruton was the first one there.
Well, that's how you stop the run. You get a number of hats to the ball, and you force a running back like Beanie Wells to go east and west rather than north and south. Really nice job. Ayers gets it started, and Bruton right there to make the stop. But gang tackling, really important for this Denver defense that has struggled stopping the run this year.
Spotted back at the 26-yard line, 3rd and 14 for Arizona.
A screen or draw.
They come on the blitz. Skelton just not afraid to go to the middle of the field. That's caught by Breston. Breston has a 1st down for the Cardinals.
Well, his location on throws hasn't been perfect, but he's been decisive. The ball's coming out quick. He's going to hit him on the back here. Nice job adjusting, stopping him in the hole, but he's willing to sit in there and take a hit. And you look at this quarterback, he's 6'6", 245. He's accurate. He's got good mobility, a lot like a young quarterback in Pittsburgh that Ken Whisenhunt had, Ben Roethlisberger. You can see striking similarities.
Wells on the delay. And remember, Skelton did not take any snaps with the first team until practice a week ago on Friday.
Well, he's taken that playbook to bed with him each night trying to learn, but he's done a really nice job. And as I mentioned, Bill, he got off to a kind of a rocky start. I think he was 0 for 6, but then he really settled in. He started making some plays, and I was really impressed when we went out to practice on Friday. I watched him throw the ball. He can make all the throws. He's got a big, strong arm, and he is accurate.
2nd and 4.
A little hard count.
Flag before the snap. Were they drawn offsides or not?
Encroachment with contact, defense number 79. 5-yard penalty and measure for a 1st down.
Marcus Thomas. So they'll mark off 5 yards. Let's listen.
Old veteran trick right there by the rookie quarterback, and you know that offensive lineman asked him to mix up the hard count. And his cadence was a problem last week. They had a couple false start penalties in the first series with him last week. He was holding his cadence too long. You know, Lyle Senline, the center, said, hey, you gotta make sure that your cadence is like Derek Anderson. It's got to be consistent. It wasn't a week ago.
Larry Fitzgerald back in the game. First and 10 in Denver territory from the 48-yard line. Skelton, nice protection, a little shovel pass, trying to get cute, and that might be an interception. No, they're ruling incomplete. And that's what you don't want to do.
Well, he's been good all day with the decision making, trying to flip it right there. I like his mobility for a bigger quarterback, just a little bit high. He is very fortunate this didn't get picked off. See DJ Williams. No, that definitely touches the ground.
DJ Williams and Mario Hagan both had a chance at it, but incomplete. Second and 10 for Arizona. Just under 5 minutes left in the third. They come on the blitz, able to get rid of it. Incomplete. Crowd wants a flag for pass interference, but they won't get one. Dre was the intended receiver.
Well, Ronaldo Hill, he might have got a hand in there a little bit earlier. Fortunate not to get one there. You see they bring pressure. And you see that left arm. He's got it draped around the waist of Dre.
So that'll bring up third and 10.
Well, his protection has been outstanding. You look at that. Not been sacked. He's been able to sit in there and set his feet and make good decisions.
Jason Wright is in the game. Skelton, lots of time. Batted away, incomplete. Was trying to hit Steve Breston. And Andre Goodman got a hand in there.
Well, these are when you're seeing so much two-deep man coverage. A corner like Andre Goodman can trail underneath, knowing that he has help over the top. That's a difficult ball to fit in there.
So we'll see Ben Graham, the punter. Eddie Royal back deep. 16-point Arizona lead. Still a two-possession game. End over end. Fair catch called for and made by Royal at the 7-yard line. So the Denver Broncos and Kyle Orton will go back to work when we return. 4:23 left to go in the third. A 41-yard punt. Long field for the Denver Broncos as they take over first and 10 from their own 7-yard line. Orton from his own end zone finally gets rid of it, and that is caught by Moreno. Out to the 13-yard line. Adrian Wilson made the stop. Well, you vote, they play. Send your favorite players to the 2011 Pro Bowl. Vote online or on your mobile phone. Voting ends Monday, December 20th. Go to NFL.com/Pro Bowl or search Pro Bowl ballot and vote today. 2nd and 4 for Denver. Keep it on the ground. Moreno to the 14-yard line.
When you look at the struggles that they're having offensively right now, and Mike McCoy calling his first game this season, and that's never an easy thing for him to have to jump into that situation and call plays. It's not easy for a guy like Kyle Orton, who's been used to Josh McDaniels in his year the entire season. Not only that, but just his pace, his tempo, and his style of play calling, they may be different right now. Clearly, the play caller and quarterback are not on the same page.
Quiet day for Brandon Lloyd. Only 2 catches, 24 yards. Orton, lots of time, finally slings it, and that's almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of the tight end, Daniel Graham. And that had a lot of heat on it. Almost bounced right to O'Brien Schofield.
Well, eventually somebody has to make a play. You see Kyle Orton, he's calling for somebody to come back to him. Pretty good throw there to his tight end Graham. You got to make that catch. Never going to be perfect, but when you're struggling as an offense, somebody has to step up and make a play.
Again, the Broncos are going to have to punt. Yard deep in his own end zone. Britton Colquitt. Roberts, the deep man for Arizona. Another outstanding punt. Fielded at the 26. Roberts trying to get to the outside. Finally dives forward and out of bounds just past the 40. A 60-yard punt. 2:54 left in the third. Now Kyle Orton looking A little shaken on the sideline. He was being treated while we were away. First and 10 for Arizona from their own 41-yard line. They keep it on the ground. Hightower gets to the edge. Tim Hightower. Pickup of 9 yards on the play. Parrish Cox pushed him out of bounds. It's like the left ribs giving him trouble.
You see he wears a flak jacket. He actually has it on, but that can be a painful injury. You see Tim Tebow there. He's just waiting. He's waiting to know whether he should start warming up or not.
2nd and 1 for Arizona. Skelton, the rookie, has managed the game well so far for Arizona. The reverse. Had to duck it back inside. Doucette, and he's in Denver territory, down close to the 47-yard line.
And that's not where early Doucette wants to go, back up inside where the big guys are.
Tim Tebow warming up. Heisman Trophy winner in 2007, came in with just 13 offensive touches, but 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing and 1 passing.
Well, he's worked hard this season, taking a lot of scout team reps, hasn't played a lot. They get the opportunity here.
1st and 10 over the head of Doucette.
Just looked like he rushed that throw, John Skelton. You had more time there. You got man-to-man coverage. You have to give him you have to at least give the receiver a chance to make a catch. That's what he's going to learn. He's going to go back and watch the film, and there's going to be corrections that are made, and you see areas where he can improve. The one thing that jumps out at me is a big quarterback at 6'6". He needs to work on his footwork. He needs to be more consistent. But boy, I love the way he spins the ball.
2nd and 10, nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. Cardinals on top, 19-3. Stevens howling. And that will draw a flag. May not have been the smartest play of the day by Saquon Thompson.
Now you have to be smart.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense,
ridiculous.
number 22. 15-yard penalty. 1st down, Arizona.
Two guys on the ground.
Rookie out of Cal.
It's considered a jump on the pile. JOP.
Seventh-round draft pick, so they move it up to the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for Arizona. Offset eye. Set the motion man. Skelton will throw, directing traffic. Incomplete.
Well, really good decision by John Skelton. They're trying to get the ball downfield on 1st down to Larry Fitzgerald, and it's not there. They have a dropping, zoning linebacker, so he does the next best thing. He gets outside the pocket and he throws it away. And that's a good decision in this part of the field. They give you an opportunity. If it's not there, be smart.
Making his first start in the National Football League today, John Skelton, the rookie out of Fordham. 2nd and 10. And we have movement before the snap.
Going to be on Arizona.
They may call it on Larry Fitzgerald.
All right. False start. Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Well, Larry had a difficult week. He lost his grandfather, was not at practice on Friday. He was back in Chicago at a funeral. And he actually came back in town on Saturday and went to the coach's house. Wanted to make sure that he was up on the game plan and had all the information. He is a consummate professional.
Stayed late in practice to work with Skelton before he left. Skelton, again, they've done a good job giving him time. That time the pocket collapsed, but he was able to get rid of it.
Well, he's got a time clock in his head. You can see there, point to himself, and he's going to make mistakes, and that's part of playing the game as a young player. But what I like, he's not throwing it to the other team. He's taking care of the ball in the pocket. He's playing smart football, and that's what you'd expect from a quarterback out of Fordham. First player to be drafted out of Fordham since 1968.
From El Paso, Texas, and there are a lot of Cardinal fans in El Paso. This part of the country. Floats it. Dangerous pass. Out of bounds. Champ Bailey. And that will not fool the veteran.
And that's one thing that's going to have to be corrected as I look at John Skelton on his deep throw. He puts a little bit too much air on it. And these corners and safeties can cover so much ground in the National Football League, and they're so quick. You have to be able to get that one up and down. It's got to take a little bit less trajectory on that football with a player like Larry Fitzgerald.
So Ben Graham is on to punt, standing at the 45-yard line of the Broncos. False start. Move it back just a little bit, and they won't mind that.
False start. Offense, number 31. That penalty decline. 4th down.
Call it on Jason Wright. By the way, Kyle Orton, the report is a rib injury.
Well, we're going to give our guy another chance, Jay Feely. Why not?
Yep, why not? His return, by the way, is probable. And Mr. Feely is back out on the field trying to add to his 19 points.
He's hot. You got to give him a chance, right?
You have to. 49-yard try.
And the MVP so far. Nope.
And he hooked it. So the perfect streak comes to an end. Only the second field goal attempt he's missed all year. That from 49 yards out. Back comes Kyle Orton.
Well, if you're Kyle Orton, it's time to pick up the tempo, pick up the pace, get him in and out of the huddle. Mike McCoy, you got to get him off to a good start.
2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, and we're tied. Comfortable cushion for Arizona, but not unmanageable for Denver. Just over a minute left in the third. 39-yard line, ball's on the ground, fumble.
That's ugly.
And 5th turnover by the Broncos.
That was a gift for Calais Campbell. I mean, you talk about the quarterback center exchange, and you talk about footwork and seating the ball in the running game. And this should never happen between veterans like Kyle Orton and Noshawn Moreno. He just puts it in there. Looks like it maybe a little bit high, and Calais Campbell is just right there. Well, he looks like Noshawn Moreno was trying to cut back, looking for vision in that backside A-gap. Here's a better look at it. I don't know that he saw Dockett flash. That made him adjust his path.
Calais Campbell was born in Colorado, played at South High School in Denver, where he set a state record with 58 career sacks. So get great field position for the Cardinals. They're running this to try a double reverse and a pass. Preston's going to throw it. Fitzgerald. And Champ Bailey was right there. The pass off the double reverse, and Bailey was not fooled.
Yeah, Champ Bailey's not going to fall for the fried ice cream. I'm just telling you. They try a double reverse pass, and it doesn't get off to a good start. Penetration will kill it. But Preston makes the throw anyway. Look at Champ Bailey. He's just waiting, trailing right there for the easy play. Boy,
just a textbook defensive play.
And he doesn't panic. That's the great thing when you watch Champ Bailey. He's very patient.
2nd and 10 for Arizona. Back to the ground. Hightower churning those legs. Someone loses the helmet. He's down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, Senline and Latui and Faneca, they're getting some push up front. Of course, when you have a big back like Hightower, he starts rolling. It's a big offensive line, and they have done a good job here this game. Look at getting the double at the point. Nice job by the fullback getting a little kick out in there. Hightower's moving people in the hole.
3rd and 2, and they'll let the clock run out for the end of the 3rd quarter.
Oh, they had to use that timeout. They had 1 second.
Right.
First charge timeout, Arizona.
1 second
Please
remaining.
reset the game clock to 1 second.
Well, we've talked about the journey for John Skelton. His alma mater, Fordham, has 3 former alums that are in the Hall of Fame. Alex Wojciechowicz, who was one of the 7 blocks of granite, played 13 seasons with the Lions and Eagles. The most famous right there, Vince Lombardi. And Wellington Mara went right into his dad's business, helping run the New York Giants after his graduation from Fordham, which is located in the Bronx. Graduated in 1937.
And I was impressed when we sat down with John Skelton on Friday. You know, he's got that look about him. It didn't seem like it was too big. He's told us how he's been studying all week, taking that playbook to bed with him. And there's never enough hours in the week to truly absorb all of that information in that game plan. But I know that feeling when you feel like you need that one more hour, that extra hour to take a peek at the film of the playbook. But you see his mom and his sister and his father's popped up somewhere. He's probably too nervous to watch right now, but he has really represented the Skelton family and done an outstanding job here today.
Here they come on the blitz, and Skelton just has to throw it away. Sails it way out of bounds. Sean and Anna, his mom and dad, here from El Paso, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. And we'll return to Arizona after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. And we're back in Arizona, ready to start the final period. Jay Feely on to try a 49-yard field goal on 4th down. Missed his last one. This one is good. Plenty of leg. Jay Feely, 22, Denver 3. 22-3 Arizona. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The game between the Denver Broncos and the Arizona Cardinals. Bill McAtee along with Rich Gannon. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Good from Feely, fielded by Decker. He's had some good returns today. Ball is loose. Brought down at about the 34-yard line. I think Feely made the tackle. Look at him.
He's a tough guy, isn't he? Right in the middle of that pile.
He's everywhere. There you go. It's kind of the way it's been today. Jay Feely accounting for all of the points.
Steady.
5 field goals, a touchdown, and a point after. Meanwhile, it's not been fun for the Denver Broncos.
No, they got a false start.
This has been as close to a disaster on offense as you could imagine.
Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Daniel Graham.
Well, this is not what Eric Studesville was anticipating when we sat down with them last night. He thought they would come out and play well, and I'm just stunned by what I've seen out of the offense. The passing game, the play, the quarterback were real bright spots. Have been bright spots this season, and the way they've run the ball the last month. And yet today, they've been ugly. They've turned it over, and they have not been very efficient.
Airing it out to Royal.
He's trying to squeeze that one into Eddie Royal. And they're saying this one hit the ground. Wow, I don't know. That's tough.
Looked like he may have trapped it, but they're bringing it back.
Yeah, Yeah, it looks like that may have hit the ground.
But we've got the challenge flag out. So they'll take another look here early in the fourth.
Denver is challenged the rule on the field of an incomplete pass.
They'll take a look and we'll step aside. 22-3 Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals seemingly on the verge of snapping a 7-game losing streak. They lead it 22-3, 13:47 left to play. Hightower's alone in the backfield, and they give it to him, trying to run a little time off the clock. And the ball may have come out.
I think it did.
Broncos are saying they have it, and they do. DJ Williams came away with it. First turnover of the day for the Cardinals.
Well, that's the last thing you want to do there to start the drive. You're ahead 22-3 in the fourth quarter. You just want to run the clock out. Tim Hightower's been very good today running the football, but there's an extra defender down in the box. Robert Ayers comes in there, and he's the one that gets the strip. It's just sitting right there at the bottom of the pile, and DJ Williams is smart enough to go in there and get it. Tim Hightower's between his legs. He can't get it out.
So the Broncos take over, 1st and 10 from the Arizona 25-yard line. Moreno, nothing. Calais Campbell is right there in the hole to greet him. Big man, 6'8", listed at 300 pounds.
Well, you look at Calais Campbell there and Darnell Dockett. And they've been dealing with injuries all season, but they're fighting through it. And that's a sign of a true pro. Both of these players have been banged up, but they're out there battling and giving it their all.
Darnell Dockett, the two-time Pro Bowler, led all defensive tackles in the league with 7 sacks last year. Orton, a little trickery. They get it out to Graham. Gets it to about the 24-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, you look at how good they have been throwing the football this season, and yet today, not very good. Look at the yards per attempt. Brandon Lloyd has been quiet. Kyle Orton struggling. Frustrating day for Mike McCoy as the play caller. Nothing seemed to work.
From the Arizona 24-yard line. Orton gets rid of it. Royal, and he has a 1st down. Brought down at the 12-yard line of the Cardinals. Greg Toller, the right corner, made the tackle after a pickup of 12.
Well, Eddie Royal somehow sneaks out into the flat. They're late making the adjustment, getting there, and you can see Toller rally, but
Arizona defense has kept Denver out of the end zone and come away with 5 turnovers. Trying to make another stand here, showing blitz. Here they come. Orton, plenty of time, finally flushed from the pocket and has to get rid of it. That was a great job by the Arizona secondary.
You're right, Bill. That's what you call a coverage sack. They did an excellent job. Kyle Orton had plenty of time, good protection, but just nowhere to go with the football. Good job on the offensive line. He takes 3-4 hitches. He moves to his left. Good job up front, and a great job on the back end in that Arizona secondary.
14 of 31 for 129 yards. The numbers for Orton: 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. 2nd and 10 for Denver. Short drop, corner, over the head of Brandon Lloyd, who's had a very quiet day. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie with the coverage.
You know, it's almost as if Kyle Orton doesn't want to throw another interception. Watch where this ball lands. You're throwing to Brandon Lloyd. You got to give him a chance. You got to keep it on the field of play and let your best receiver go up against Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie.
2 catches, 24 yards for Lloyd, who came in as the leading receiver in the National Football League. Quiet week last week and another quiet day today. 3rd and 10 for Denver. On the hitch to Moreno, incomplete.
That's ugly. Bill, we talked about the down and distance, the 3rd and 10s. I mean, you just do the math. You're not going to convert a lot of 3rd and longs in this league, and they have not been good on the early downs. And just look at the miscommunication here. It's as if they're not even on the same page. These players have been working together the entire season. Kyle Orton has not looked comfortable today.
So we'll see Stephen Hauschka, again, just signed yesterday. Matt Prater didn't make the trip here to Arizona. 30-yard field goal try and boots it through. So 22-6, Arizona, 11:20 left to play. We're back, and there's our friend and colleague Dan Deerdorf. The Ring of Honor here at the Arizona Cardinals. Such a tremendous career with this franchise back in St. Louis. Kyle Orton despondent. It's been just a tough afternoon all around for this Denver offense. Not much has gone right. Stephen Hauschka set to kick it off to LaRod Stevens-Howling. Stevens-Howling a couple yards deep in the end zone. Lowers his shoulder and brings it out to the 22-yard line. So our man Skelton, Rich, you think he's earned another start? His performance today?
I think he has. You're talking about a team that's lost 7 in a row. John's come in, hasn't put up ridiculous numbers, but he's been steady.
Stevens-Howling is alone in the backfield. They give it to him. What great penetration. Mario Hagan just shooting through. Working on a career best 5 sacks this season. He's moved back to the inside with the loss of Joe Mays for the season.
Well, he just hits it right between that guard center gap. The back's got no chance. You mentioned Mario Hagan's had a fine year, Bill. And second the team in tackles, despite having had to start at both inside linebacker as well as outside linebacker. 6 games apiece. We talked to him about how difficult that is. He said he's got to retrain his ears and his eyes when he goes back inside.
2nd and 13 for Arizona. Stevens-Howling, that was a nice move back on the inside. We may have a horse collar. No flag. It looked like Kevin Vickerson got him from the back of the neck. Let's take another look.
Well, it sure did. And you see Stevens-Howling, nice one cut downhill, and then right there he gets it with 2 hands.
I'm not sure about what the definition of horse collar is, but that seems to be pretty much it. No flag, however. It'll bring up 3rd down. Stevens-Howling stays in the game. 3rd and 5. Been in a little early. Stevens-Howling with a nice one-handed catch on a pass that was behind him. Jason Hunter made the stop.
Well, 57, moving into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
Hagan in early. So they'll replay 3rd down.
Well, sloppy performance out of Denver today, really in all 3 phases of the game, and it's unfortunate for Eric Stewsville, who's done a good job getting them ready under difficult circumstances to play.
43 years old, getting in essence a 4-game audition with the Broncos. Mentioned he's close friends with Perry Fewell, who was Buffalo's interim head coach for 7 games last season. Very similar circumstances for Denver with Eric. 1st and 10. Stevens-Howling versus his field. This is a dangerous running back and brought down out across the 35 to the 37-yard line by Hunter.
Well, that's a good look at Derek Anderson, who's inactive today. He had a concussion last week. You look at his numbers this season, the disturbing, the 51%, the 10 interceptions, and my sense is he's going to be watching for a while. Watch this rookie John Skelton play. John has come in. I think he's played well. He's taken control of this team. He looks comfortable out there. They're winning. I mentioned they've lost 7 in a row. This guy has been a breath of fresh air for this offense.
2nd and 4, and Beanie Wells, we get a report that has a stomach virus, and he will not return, which explains why we're seeing LaRon Stevens-Howling now here midway through the 4th. Stevens-Howling back healthy after battling a hamstring earlier this season.
Bill, as I prepared for this game, at first glance, I think it's easy to blame the quarterback situation. When you take a closer look under the hood, I think there's plenty of blame to go around. They haven't run the ball well. The defense has been inconsistent. Special teams have had their moments, and when you're 3-9, it's never one thing.
3rd and 2. Stevens-Howling has a first down. He's hard to see back there.
He's such a great returner. You're right. He's a smaller back, and when he gets in behind that big offensive line, it's very difficult to track from a defensive perspective. You see Fanek out in front and Brown are big men. And Stevens-Howling, he's tough to track.
They spotted at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for Arizona. Clock continues to run. Just over 7.5 minutes remaining. Tim Hightower is checked back in for the Cardinals to set the motion man. They give it to Hightower up the middle. Nice hole. Tim Hightower, he's loose. Up the sideline. And Champ Bailey saves a touchdown.
Boy, Tim Hightower has really run well here today, and all he needs is one little crease in this defense, and there it is, right backside. He goes on the backside and he gets into the secondary, and he's very difficult to bring down. You still see Champ Bailey. He has great speed, but nice job. Good movement up front. That is a great run by Hightower.
A 41-yard burst. And now Hightower with 92 yards on 13 carries. 1st and 10. Arizona threatening once again. Hightower, a little stutter step. Tough running inside. I think of Hightower as a guy who's most comfortable on the edge, but he can get the tough yards between the tackles at times.
Well, they're running that power play, and they're really getting some movement. This is when football is fun. You got a 22-6 lead in the 4th quarter, and you know the defense knows you're going to run it. Offensively, you know you're going to run the football, and you're still able to get positive yardage.
And after tasting so much success over the last couple of years, fun is not how you would describe the season so far for the Arizona Cardinals. But today on the verge of snapping a 7-game losing streak. Hightower again. Trying to get to the outside and does. Touchdown. Tim Hightower. His 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
Well, they don't do a good job, Denver, on the backside. Hightower, he's doing a nice job. He's running the ball up in front, but he's going to wind it all the way back. And you look on the backside, Jason Hunter, he gets blocked. Champ Bailey comes off the edge. There's no safety to fill that void, and Hightower has an easy lane to the end zone.
Jay Feely on to try the extra point. He's got it. 6:07 left to play, and that will do it. Arizona seemingly put it away on this play. The touchdown run by Hightower.
They're tripping over him and people not in the right gaps. It's a big offensive line, and they're getting good movement. They're wearing down this defense, this Denver front 7. Well, it's been a good day for this Arizona offense. Obviously, there's been a dramatic drop-off from a year ago, not the precise, well-oiled machine we're used to seeing in years past. It's tough to replace a quarterback like Kurt Warner, but they have looked good today, and they have taken advantage of some opportunities that Denver has provided them with 5 offensive turnovers.
Cardinals had only 2 healthy quarterbacks this week. Derek Anderson out with the concussion. Max Hall dislocated his left shoulder, so he's gone for the season on IR. So they turned to John Skelton, who till a week ago last Friday had not taken any first-team reps in practice all year. And finally got some snaps with the first unit, but that had been the extent of his work with the starters until he went into the game against the Rams as the emergency quarterback last Sunday. Numbers for John: 14 of 36, 141 yards, no touchdowns, but probably more important, no interceptions, no turnovers. Line drive kick. Decker from the 1. Fakes the lateral. And brought down short of the 30-yard line. Tonight on CBS, all new, beginning with 60 Minutes, followed by the finale of The Amazing Race and new episodes of Undercover Boss and CSI Miami. That's all tonight, only on CBS. 6 minutes remaining. Orton stays in the game. (29-6) Cardinals. Royal with some room. And across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Harris Lennon tripped him up.
Well, we haven't seen enough of that today. They're a very good screen team. You look at Denver because they have them all. The quick screen, the bubble screen, the delay screen. They try and use everybody. Tight ends, running backs, and wide receivers.
Previous play good for 18 yards. Center of the field. Again, it's Royal. And another Denver first down. Remove the chains. They spot it at the 37-yard line of the Cardinals. Continues to run. Check down to Moreno. And second effort out of bounds right near the marker.
Well, they bring pressure, and Sean Moreno slips out the backside. See him coming off.
Carries, 80 yards for Moreno. 4 catches for 26 yards. With 5 minutes left. 1st and 10. Screen to set up the screen, and they do to Lance Ball. And a great job sniffing it out by the Cardinals. Adams with the tackle.
A really nice tackle by Mike Adams. And they have tackled better today. We talked about that in the first quarter, the problems they've had defensively. Nice job seeing in front of the screen that the lineman can't get out in front and get a block on Mike Adams. That's a good open field tackle by Adams.
Second down. Orton. Incomplete. And we have pass interference. Got there a little early. Brandon Lloyd was the intended receiver. Bumped early by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie.
I think he came over his back. Rodgers-Cromartie was driving on that ball, whereas Brandon Lloyd wasn't. They have gotten there a split second early. Now they're discussing it. Never understand why they throw the flags and then change their mind. Either you saw it or you didn't.
Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie over on the sideline. Let's take another look at the play.
Now Brandon Lloyd's got to keep coming. See how he's just slowing down? And Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie's driving on.
Defense playing through the back of the spot of the foul. First down, Denver.
You know, Brandon Lloyd has to come in there under control, but he's got to come in there with a quicker pace and tempo. That's been part of the problem today as I watch the receivers on the perimeter in this Denver offense.
So 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line of the Cardinals. Ball on the inside to the 21.
And that's the play they had a lot of success with last week. Sean Moreno, that jab 26 sub. They call it sub because that's in their sub package with 3 receivers. You're usually running that against a nickel defense.
Ball in his second year out of Maryland came in with just 7 carries for 41 yards. Orton on second down. Brandon Lloyd, just his 3rd catch of the game and out of bounds. First down for Denver.
Well, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie has done a nice job. Lloyd's working all the way across the field against this zone coverage. Well, that one gets in on him. But he has been quiet today. That's part of the problem. I always say in critical situations like what's transpired here for the Broncos, as you're the play caller, don't think about plays, but think about players. How can I get a guy like Brandon Lloyd more involved? They did not do a very good job of that early in this game.
3:40 left to play. To the end zone. And a flag, pass interference, will be the call. Gaffney was the intended receiver.
Yeah, they're going to call that on Tremaine McBride. The problem is he doesn't look back for the ball. You got to locate it. They call that one every time when you have your back to the ball.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. Because the contact occurred in the end zone, the ball replaced at the 1-yard line. First down.
Well, I like the fact that Kyle Orton's given him a chance, but you see McBride right there. He never looks back for the ball. You have to locate the ball. He's just playing Jabbar Gaffney all the way.
So they'll spot it at the 1, 1st and goal. Offset eye, power formation. Moreno, touchdown. Moreno, one of the few bright spots for the Denver Broncos today. 19 carries, 81 yards, and now he gets it into the end zone.
Well, they're just running the power play as well. Noshawn Moreno does a nice job cutting it backside and finding a little crease in that defense.
So Hauschka on to try the extra point. And good. 3:31 left to play. 29-13 Cardinals next Sunday. Take a look at the AFC playoff picture. New England has clinched with a victory today, so the Patriots run their record to 11-2. They've won 5 straight. Wild card right now, it's the Jets and the Ravens. Jets 9-4, the Ravens currently 8-4.
Well, there's a number of good races in the AFC West and AFC South. I think both of them could come down to the last week.
How about Jacksonville?
That was a big win against the Raiders, wasn't it?
It was a big win. And anytime you think that Jacksonville is earlier in the season, well, those guys don't have a chance. All of a sudden you look up and they're battling for a spot in the postseason.
Bill, how about that game you and I did 4 weeks ago, whatever it was, against Cleveland? They turned the ball over 6 times and still found a way to win.
Inside kick is coming from the Broncos. Hauschka, again, just been with the team a short time and not very good execution. Larry Fitzgerald can't have better hands than that.
Well, you got to think that Hauschka's never had a chance to rep that with this team. He just came in late Friday after practice. This is the first time he's kicked an onside kick with this group. That one gets up, and there's Larry Fitzgerald. That's the guy you want fielding that kick.
We have an all-hands team. I think he'd be first in line.
That's the guy you want right there.
This Arizona offense, 10 yards in the first quarter, 306 since. Tower will add to his total. Tower over 100 yards, 107 as we take a look at the NFC playoff picture. Atlanta, their record 11-2 now, a convincing victory today. And in the wild card hunt, right now it's New Orleans at 10-3. The Giants at 8-4, but Tampa Bay, they've had a nice season so far. Green Bay, a tough one today. They're 8-5. Seattle 6-7. San Francisco 5-8. Out of the NFC West, St. Louis leads there at 6-7.
That's the division you want to be in this year. And it's too bad. You think about Arizona. I mean, back-to-back division championships. It's tough to win a division championship if you don't have a lot of production and consistency at the quarterback position. Arizona has started 3 different quarterbacks this year.
Hightower. Cardinals will run their record to 4-9. Broncos will go to 3-10. Cardinals will snap a 7-game losing streak. Broncos will now have lost 8 of their last 9 and 16 of their last 23.
I think Kyle Orton, boys, he's been through some fires. You look at the Arizona football team, and I really believe John Skelton's going to get another start next week at Carolina. I think I've seen enough out of him today to feel pretty good about continuing to evaluate his progress next week. And I think he's going to get better. I think he made some mistakes, but the big thing you mentioned, Bill, didn't turn it over. You know, he didn't throw it to the other team. He was good, threw the ball away when he had to, and he did a nice job managing this game.
3rd and 3. They come on the blitz. Hightower gets it and has a first down. Burst through, still on his feet. Tim Hightower will score.
Well, there's a number of missed tackles there, and you can see Eric Studesville, he's frustrated. The defense has not played well. Sloppy football.
35-yard touchdown run from Tim Hightower.
Well, you're going to see he's just going to bounce it. He's right there. You got him blocked up. They get bullied on the edge, and then Thompson right there. You got to make that tackle.
Nice day for number 34. 18 carries, 148 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Feely, who has a touchdown today as well on the fake field goal.
I think I think the most frustrating thing for Eric Studesville is going to be the fact when he looks at the film, it just wasn't the effort and the finish that you need to see. And that is troubling. Somebody's got to find a way to step up and make a play. And just
Arizona extending its lead and out on the edge. Fitzgerald and Champ Bailey.
In order to have a good running game, you have to have receivers who are unselfish and willing to block on the perimeter. And you got a good look at it there of Larry Fitzgerald having some fun out there in the running game.
Cardinals extending their lead, 36-13. 3:09 left to play. All smiles on the Arizona sideline. That tells the story over on the Broncos sideline. It's been a tough afternoon.
Well, it's never easy when they fire the coach on Monday night and staff's forced to make adjustments and try and rally the troops.
Short kick. Brought out to about the 35-yard line. That was Lance Ball. Let's take a look, if you are in fantasy football, how some of the guys did today. Good day for Brady. Campbell had a nice one as well with 2 touchdowns, 324 yards for the Raiders. There's Tim Hightower, 148. 2 touchdowns. Branch catches, 151 for the Patriots. Horton stays in the game. From the shotgun. Throws it out to Moreno, and he's out of bounds. Pushed down at about the 41-yard line by Wilson.
Well, where do you go from here if you're Denver? Just back to work, look at the film, make the corrections, and see if you can't come out next week. A big divisional game for Denver. They're at Oakland, and got embarrassed by Oakland. Oakland put 59 points on them a while back, and sure we'll take a good look at that film and want some revenge.
Incomplete. Intended for Moreno. Stops the clock with 2:53 left to play.
It just seems like the simple plays they're making look difficult today, but they just can't find a completion.
Orton 20 of 40 for 184 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. For John Skelton, it'll be 14 of 36, 141. No touchdowns, but again, no turnovers. 3rd and 4 for the Broncos. Showing blitz. They come, Orton under pressure. Intercepted.
That might have come out.
Darrell Washington, and he was across the goal line before he lost the football.
Well, he's really lucky.
Shades of Leon Lett.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, it is your bad. You make a good play, and at the end you try and get fancy. But another poor decision by Kyle Orton, Bill.
And this has been just a brutal day for the Denver Broncos.
Well, he just tries to flip it out there and doesn't see Washington. And then, of course, a great effort here at the end by Lance Ball.
Yeah, trying to strip it before he gets into the end zone.
Well, it's a touchdown regardless, but I think that's out. That's out before he crosses the line. It certainly looks like it. And it's fortunate that Darnell Dockett was there to scoop it up.
Don Beebe was the one who was able to strip it away for the Buffalo Bills against the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Extra point is good. It's been a strange game. 43-13 Arizona. It was all Jay Feely in the first part of the game, and all of a sudden Tim Hightower came to life, and now points from the Arizona defense.
Well, that tells a story right there. You know, look at the last game with 6 turnovers. You go back to 99. You're not going to win in this league when you turn the ball over, and it's very uncharacteristic for a guy like Kyle Orton. You know, I wrote down in my notes as I was studying for this game how well he's played. He threw 457 throws coming into this game with just 6 interceptions. He's been very accurate. He's been very efficient. He has really carried this offense all season with the absence of a running game. They haven't been productive running the football. He has played well this year. It's why we're still seeing him in there. But at some point, when you look at a team that's going to go 3-10, you have to take a look at this guy. You got to find out more about Tim Tebow. Next week may be the week we find out more about Tim Tebow.
Are you surprised we haven't seen Tim Tebow so far?
Well, when we talked with the coaching staff last night, Mike McCoy said we haven't even thought about that because, you know, Kyle has played so well. But they like Tim Tebow. He's worked very hard. The first thing out of Mike McCoy's mouth, I said, what do you like about Tim Tebow? He said he is a winner.
Feely's kick taken by Cox at the 3. Brings it out across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Well, you ask yourself with 2:33 why we're not seeing Tim Tebow. I think a couple things. From a quarterback's perspective, I don't think you want to throw Tim Tebow out there for some mop-up duty with 2 minutes left. I also don't think you want to embarrass a guy like Kyle Orton, who quite honestly has played really well this year. Didn't play particularly well last week, an awful day this week, but you look at what's going on around them. You know, they had some fumbles, the defense hasn't played well, and it's tough to put all the blame and responsibility on Kyle Orton.
Lance Ball with the carry to the 35-yard line. Kerry Rhodes brought him down.
Well, let me just say this about Kyle Orton. What I like about him, nothing's come easy to him. You know, he's had to really work at it. Everywhere he's been, they tried to run him off. They ran him out of Chicago. They bring in Tebow after he played pretty well last year, and he's never going to back down. That's what I like about a guy like Kyle Orton.
Ball to the almost the 38-yard line. Orton had a stretch of 4 straight 300-yard games earlier this season, weeks 2 through 4. came in ranked second in the NFL with 35 completions of 25 yards or more. As we've reached the 2-minute warning, comfortable advantage for the Cardinals. Tonight on CBS is all new, beginning with 60 Minutes and Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, followed by the finale of The Amazing Race and new episodes of Undercover Boss and CSI Miami, tonight only on CBS. Burst from Lance Ball, and he's into Arizona territory, down to the 44-yard line. Arizona with 43 points total in their last 4 games. 43 points today.
You get a good look at Lance Ball. He's promoted from the practice squad. And coaches like what they've seen from him.
5 carries, 31 yards. Orton incomplete. Intended for Ball.
Well,
this is where things can get ugly.
Well, nobody likes to be embarrassed. Offensive line for Denver's got some pride, and you see Joey Porter there. He seems to be always around. Anywhere there's trouble, you can look for 55.
Porter was out before the game, and he was talking to John Skelton. He said, listen, don't you worry. You go out there and play. We've got your back. And the defense has done just that with 6 turnovers today. Allowed just 1 Denver touchdown. 1:28 left to play. Ball. Tripped up. So.
Well, you look at that there. Finally found a way to get it going on scoring some points. Early it was all Jay Feely, but then this offense came around. Ken Wisenhunt had a nice day calling plays and getting this team ready. They get off the schneid with a win after losing 7 in a row. And Eric Studesville and the Broncos forced to head back home and take a look at this film. It's not going to be a pretty day tomorrow for the Broncos.
Ball is brought down at the 37-yard line. 40 seconds left to go.
That's one thing I never enjoyed as a player. When you lose on the road like this in embarrassing fashion, you have to go back and look at that film on Monday and make the corrections. But the film doesn't lie. You know, when you turn the ball over 6 times, when you don't tackle on defense, that guy right there played well, though. He's a pro. You know what you're going to get out of Champ Bailey each and every time out. Great effort, great finish, and great production.
Final play of the game. Ball. And that will do it. The Arizona Cardinals snapping a 7-game losing streak as they win behind the rookie at quarterback Skelton, 43-13. Tonight on CBS at 60 Minutes, followed by The Amazing Race, Undercover Boss, and CSI Miami. So for Rich Gannon and our entire CBS Sports team, this is Bill McAtee saying so long from Arizona. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.